Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Adorkable Rachel, and it's time for another episode of Rachel Reviews, so let's just hop into it. Deadpool 2 is the sequel to the Deadpool movie, obviously. The original Deadpool was incredible when it first came out. Audiences and critics loved it. It was crude, it was violent, it was silly, it was funny, it was very fourth wall breaking and meta. It was everything that we so wanted in this kind of film, and it just all came together in a really perfect kind of way. It had a great balance and it had just the right amount of everything that we wanted from this superhero. In the new film, Deadpool is set out to help an out-of-control mutant kid, as well as stop a time-traveling mutant named Cable, who wants to kill the kid in question. Reynolds plays the title role again, and before the original Deadpool came out, he had such a passion for bringing this character to the big screen. I don't think a lot of people thought it was gonna work too well, but he was so determined, and it shows so much in this movie again. Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool, and not just because he's sarcastic and has great presence, but also because we can see how damaged he is. He really plays the dramatic side of Deadpool really, really well. When something dramatic happens to him in the films, he is so affected by it. He's kind of a dick and an anti-hero, but he also has a heart and he's just so sincere, and that's why we relate to him so much. Josh Brolin played Cable, and oh my gosh, playing a villain in a superhero film twice within a few weeks of each other? Go Josh! I mean, he did a great job. Even though he's playing villains in both movies, they're two completely different kind of villains. This is not Thanos all over again. So I like seeing that he's able to do different kind of characters slash villains. They're different. But also when watching this movie as actors, I kind of felt like Reynolds and Josh Brolin were really in on it with each other. Even though Cable's a much more serious villain, there was definitely a few kind of sorta self-aware moments in there, so I really liked that he was able to bring that to the performance. And there's a lot of new characters in the movie, but out of all of them, I really like Domino a lot. She's the one really big standout from the X-Force team that Deadpool gets together, and you'll see why when you see the movie, but I mean, she was just a lot of fun. I loved her. She says that her superpower is being lucky, and gotta admit, never heard that one before. But in the movie, it does kind of sound like bullshit at first, but I mean, when you see the chase scene and how everything she does literally leads to good things no matter what she does, yeah, I kind of get it. I get it. Okay, lucky. That's a superpower. Cool. Her luck just kind of creates this ongoing chase, but it just escalates and escalates and it just keeps working out more and more in her favor. Cause you know, get it? It creates a domino effect. And I don't know why the kid had a New Zealand accent in the movie, other than the fact that the actor is from New Zealand. Maybe they couldn't really hide the accent too well, but you'd think that maybe they could have addressed that, you know, given the humor of this film. But whatever, either way, he did a great job too. When I saw the official trailer for this movie, I remember thinking, I just don't know if this is gonna live up to the original too well, mostly because the first time around, they really did catch lightning in a bottle, and with all the action and the violence and the fun, silly humor and everything, it's just gonna be really hard to top that. Also, when I saw the trailer, it felt a lot more mainstream than I think it really should have. So I kind of had this feeling that they were gonna probably try a little too hard in this movie, and it was probably gonna be a little more conventional than the original. But you know what? If you enjoyed the first Deadpool movie, then it's pretty much a given that you will enjoy this one too. I was really, really pleasantly surprised. It's got a lot of that same humor in there, and I mean, it's Deadpool. It's supposed to make you laugh, and you know, a lot of times when there's a comedy movie like this, it doesn't always really land with the jokes, but for the most part, it does. There's a few jokes in there that don't really land, but when that happens, you pretty much jump right away to a really good one, so it doesn't really matter. And part of the whole point of this humor is that it's meant to poke fun at its own genre, and it does that incredibly well this time too. And as I had hoped, this movie does have a lot of heart to it also. And just like any good sequel, I do appreciate that this time around, it's not the exact same story again. There's different stakes, there's different characters, there's different circumstances, it's a completely different story. However, if you did watch the trailer and you enjoyed a lot of the jokes in the trailer, don't be surprised if it doesn't show up in the movie, because there's actually a lot of dialogue in the trailer that was not in the film, and God, I hate it when trailers do that. But here's the funny thing also, I don't really know if that was intentional. Maybe that was kind of the joke. Maybe they had all these lines in there that was not meant to be in the film. But then wouldn't the joke work better if he addressed that in the trailer? Or if he addressed it in the movie? I don't know. It's never brought up. So if that was intentional, awesome. But if not, that's really annoying. A lot of people have been saying that Deadpool 2 is way better than the original one, and I actually have to respectfully disagree. As emotional as the movie is within the first 10 minutes, it made me realize that what happens kind of makes the events of the first movie kind of pointless. Or at least it kind of went to waste given what happens, and I think that's kind of a sequel trap that this movie didn't mean to fall into. The film in some moments also tries to be longer and really dramatic, and those scenes did kind of tend to drag a bit. Also, considering some of the really obvious plot holes, I'm a little surprised that Deadpool didn't just outright address them. Either fix them or have Deadpool talk about them. Either way, that would have made the film a little better. See, that's another thing. I feel like if they had just been a little bit more self-aware of the flaws, then I wouldn't have been so bothered. You know, just acknowledge them, guys. It's okay. You can do that in this kind of movie. Also, while the movie was bigger in a lot of ways, that doesn't always mean that it flowed together as well. But one thing that does shine in this movie, and something that I really didn't expect, to be honest with you, is that it does have a family theme going on. In fact, Deadpool actually addresses this at the very beginning of the movie, and I'm not gonna spoil it here, but it's really funny and it ties in really well throughout the film. It definitely took a while for certain things to get going in the movie. There was some things that of course could have been addressed better, and also there were some characters that I would have liked to have seen more of. This time around you also do kind of know what to expect, and there are certain parts of the film that are really predictable. Also, one more negative for me, I feel like in a lot of moments in the movie they were trying really hard to bring on the emotion and really try to get us to feel something. Unfortunately, I don't think it was quite there. It got a little lost in the translation, I think. Like, the beginning of the movie is a lot more emotional and heartfelt and something that we really latch onto better than the stuff that happens later in the movie. I don't know why, but that's just kind of how it played out. But despite that, it's still a really great comedy movie. As a sequel, it really does give you what you want. All the silly and fun violence, all the humor, it reminds you of things that you really enjoyed from the last movie, and also all these really fun and likable characters. And they come into this really nice, continuous story, and I would love to see them come together more in another movie. Also, interestingly enough, this film does have a different director than the last one, but it didn't really feel like that most of the time. This new director gets action and he gets humor, and he really does understand the spirit of the first one. Tone-wise and action-wise, these movies do belong together. I had a lot of fun, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but as a movie, I still like the first one a little better because it just was a little bit more solid and fluid, and I connected with it more. That's just me though. If you like this one better, then more power to you. I really hope you guys like it. Oh, and also be sure you wait for the mid-credits scene. Yeah, not post-credits scene, mid-credits scene. It's one of the best after credit scenes I have ever seen in my entire life. If you're in on the humor and everything that Deadpool likes to poke fun at, then it is hilarious. You will not be disappointed. So those are my thoughts on Deadpool 2, and now I want to know, if you guys got the chance to see it, what did you think? Do you like this brand of humor? Do you think the sequel was better than the first one? Also let me know, who was your favorite new character in the film, and are there any movies or shows or trailers coming out soon that you want me to do a review of or react to? Well, go ahead and leave your comments below. Be sure to like and share, and if you're new and like what you saw here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to hit the little bell button down there to get notified when new stuff comes out, because I make new videos every week! Bye, Adorkable Buddies! I'll see you soon!